News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Lovely to see you here on a Taco Tuesday. You can just smell the excitement and the cumin. It's palpable in the air. As we look at the weather map, it's kind of a whole lot of plain Jane. Look at that. Fernley, Fallon, Carson City, all the way down to Goldfield, really. You're stuck right in the mid-40s and hitting the teens at night. Not so good, but you get to 80. Hey, things picking up. 56 degrees for a high today, 28 for a low. Out in Amargosa, it's our cool, tepid spot today. It's as warm as we got, I guess, as good as we got. 64 degrees for a high today, 31 for a low. Out in Las Vegas, 63 and 38 for a low. And out to Death Valley, scant 74 degrees. Good time to visit Death Valley. But here in the paradise of Pahrump, well, let's take a look. Current temperature appears to be 53 degrees. Lovely. Heading down to a low tonight of 31 degrees. Winds still kicking around at northeasterly direction at 14 miles per hour. As that humidity creeps up all the way to 36%. It should be some clouds, but there's not, just a lot of humidity. That's all right. Sunset this evening, it was gorgeous at 5:03. You can still catch the remnants of it as you head out the window and just take a peek at the beautiful colors right now. We'll have a sunrise in all its glory and promise for the hope of a new day at 6:49 a.m. tomorrow morning. Lovely day tomorrow. Sunshine, high of 57 degrees, low of 28. The wind's kicking down finally in the west-southwesterly direction to 6 miles per hour as we head on into the week. What do we got? Well, let's take a look. It looks like sunshine next couple days. Yeah, we got 8-mile-an-hour winds pretty much throughout the week and the weekend. We're picking up some cloud cover Friday and Saturday, but come Sunday, oh, that's going to be a gorgeous day. High of 65 degrees. Sunshine, and then the winds start kicking in Monday and Tuesday. Will be up to 10, 15 mile per hour average gusts. So make some plans to do non-windy things this weekend and really enjoy Sunday. And then we'll take a look at what's coming up, but we'll let you know and keep you apprised. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right, so continue to hold on to your hats out there, ladies and gentlemen, because those winds are still whipping around, and be sure to watch out for any debris in the roadway. All right, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next newscast. Good night.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, if you're like me, you're one of many people who brought home new pets during this ongoing pandemic. But not a lot of people have thought about pet-proofing their home. In today's Ask Angie, Bailey Carson discusses ways you can protect your new pet and keep your home looking like new.
Not everyone who added a new pet to the family during the pandemic pet-proofed their home first, or people who moved with their pets may not have thought about setting up their new home for themselves and their furry friends. Now that things are opening back up, you might be realizing your home is not pet-proofed for leaving your pup alone. Bailey Carson, home expert at Angie, is here to offer some tips on how to pet-proof your home and design it to last, regardless of how many pets you get.
Pets are such a wonderful addition to the family. And there are a few things that you can do to make sure that your home is a safe and happy place for them. If you have a secure yard, a great idea is to consider a pet door. You want to make sure they can't escape once they're outside, but otherwise it's a great way for them to get out and run around when they like. And don't leave any food too close to the door because that can attract unwanted critters.
Giving your pet more space to explore is great, but there are some benefits to containing them as well. Crates and baby gates can help create a pet-friendly area where you can add water, toys, and a comfortable place to lie down. Make sure this area is clear of hazardous materials, food, medications, and personal items they could end up destroying, like hats, socks, or slippers, especially if you're planning to leave them home alone.
Get in the habit of putting away potentially dangerous items. Things like wires, sharp objects, choking hazards, poisonous items, or other things that could cause your pet harm. Also, if you have a larger pet, consider securing furniture that's close to the wall so that it can't topple over during playtime.
Plants and flowers are a great way to add life to your home and garden, but now that you have a pet, you should be aware of which ones are dangerous if eaten. For example, lilies are really dangerous for cats, and aloe vera, hibiscus, and jade are examples of off-limit plants for both dogs and cats.
If you're doing any renovations, one thing to consider with pets is flooring. You'll want to make sure that you use a material that can handle whatever muddy paws it sees. Vinyl and laminate are great options for this reason, as they're scratch resistant. Also consider finishes and textures that will hide any pet damage.
Make sure you know how to clean and protect any flooring, new or old. Have the right cleaners on hand for your floors and furniture. It's also a good idea to get in the habit of closing bathroom and laundry doors so your pets don't drink from the toilet or end up stuck in the washer or dryer.
If your pet is particularly curious or you're having a hard time pet-proofing your home on your own, you might want to call in a pro. Many pros who do child-proofing also offer pet-proofing. This will help to keep your pet safe and happy in your home for many years to come.
Do you have questions about your home projects or home care business? Tweet your questions using hashtag AskAngie. That's hashtag AskAngie, and you may get some tips in an upcoming segment.
Oh, those puppies were adorable, and I'm so happy to have my new kitten. Good luck to all of the new pet parents out there. Well, speaking of new, if you haven't started any New Year's resolutions yet, or if you've already given up on your original list, consider starting a self-care routine because it can be beneficial for your health.
Self-care is anything that, kind of we deliberately kind of do, or maybe in some instances refrain from doing with our own well-being in mind. Anything that promotes our own physical, emotional, psychological, or spiritual well-being doesn't really have to be any more complicated than that.
Dr. Matthew Sacco is a psychologist for Cleveland Clinic. He says self-care should be intentional, meaning you should make sure to set time aside in your normal routine. It also doesn't have to be something demanding or expensive. Dr. Sacco says what does matter is that it makes you feel good or relaxed. Some examples could be going for a walk outside if you enjoy nature, taking a bubble bath, journaling, socializing with friends, or meditating. It can also be something physical like working out or eating healthy. He says self-care is not about being selfish. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It allows someone to take some much-needed time for themselves.
So doing this kind of work thoughtfully, in a very planned way, it is absolutely a vital part of us as at an individual level being more effective in the world around us. And I will often say, especially to women, you got to be, it's the oxygen mask on the airplane analogy. They tell you that when you get on, you got to put it on yourself first before you help others.
Dr. Sacco says developing a self-care routine can take time in some cases, especially if you're trying to get used to new habits. So don't feel pressured to meet a certain expectation or deadline.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Wow, look at those winds whipping around Pahrump. We'll see what else is blowing through our forecast when we return.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment is brought to you by Higher Society Smoke Shop in Las Vegas. Call 702-982-2300. Call 702-982-2300.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, according to the Nevada Department of Employment, Training and Rehabilitation's December 2021 economic report, the state's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate was 6.4% in December 2021, which decreased 0.5% from November 2021. Now, seasonally adjusted estimates account for regularly seen fluctuations and those economic patterns. Well, the county wants to recognize the efforts of different artists trying to beautify our communities. We'll take a closer look right now.
This temporary public art display is located on the fences along the bridge of the Flamingo Wash.
This is to you, Holly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Tick Sagerbloom presented proclamations to the 3 local artists, Valentin Yordanov, Holly Lay, and Homero Hidalgo, who designed and installed the new artwork.
This is part of our county-wide program for the public arts. We're looking at different areas, doing different things. We're doing sculptures, but this is a temporary structure, but we're trying to show that there's beauty everywhere and also promote local artists.
Valentin Yordanov's trademark geometric design and eye-popping colors are seen in many local large-scale projects in Clark County. And his new work graces the west side of the Wash with a view to the Strip.
Thank you to the Commissioner and Clark County Public Arts for this amazing opportunity and all the art they're creating around the city. It's great to beautify the area, beautify the neighborhood, and to connect with the community. While I was installing the artwork, people were stopping by, talking with me, and everybody was so happy and excited that the neighborhood is looking more beautiful.
The bus rapid transit route will be a nearly 9-mile route starting at the International Airport and traversing north on Maryland Parkway all the way downtown and then west to the Las Vegas Medical District. This vital corridor connects many high-activity locations, including UNLV, shopping malls, and hospitals. For more information on the bus rapid transit route and other mass transportation questions and solutions, visit rtcsnv.com/Maryland-Parkway.
Well, Parent Night at Pahrump Valley High School is just a week away. With more about that event and other happenings in the Nye County School District, here's Louis Sposato with this week's Student News.
Hello, I am Louis Sposato, a student at Pahrump Valley High School, and I'm here to report on some important information. On February 12th, Pahrump Valley High School is conducting an ACT boot camp for all who would like to come. Esteemed teachers will cover all topics that are quizzed on the test and will provide tips and crucial help for the students. It will take place in the cafeteria from 10 to 2. On February 3rd is a parent night at Pahrump Valley High School from 4:15 to 6 p.m. The presentations that night will be about connecting with your student, how to ensure their success, and ways to aid them with situations they may come across. If you wish to attend this, please RSVP using the QR code on screen. CTE courses are having their certification testing in February. In the middle of February is the workplace readiness exam, and late February is the technical skills test, which is specialized for the specific course the student is taking. If students do well in this test and in their class as a whole, they will pass with a career certification approved by the state that proves the recipient is career ready in their particular field. So we encourage students who qualify to study hard and succeed. That's all, and we hope you have a great week.
Speaking of education, nationally, due to the ongoing coronavirus global health pandemic, here in the U.S., student scores in mathematics and their math testing has decreased. But thanks to a new app entitled PhotoMath, there's help for parents who are trying to avoid the agony of trying to figure out their students' math assignments.
One evening, I was helping my son with his homework, actually checking his homework. And it was full worksheet of problems that I had to calculate, to check. And then as an engineer, I thought, oh, maybe there is some other way to do it.
A clear case of necessity being the mother of invention. Engineer Demir Sobel knew he had the tools he needed to invent a better way when it comes to parents struggling to help their kids learn math at home during COVID. His big idea is called PhotoMath. Using an app on your cell phone, the student or parent can take pictures of the math problem, and the answers come right up. But Demir didn't want to stop at merely providing the correct answers.
Can we actually then also explain these math problems to kids step by step, how they can be solved?
It turned out they could, and since the pandemic, PhotoMath has been used to solve 2 billion math problems. Needless to say, usage has soared. Among those users is Denver mom and blogger Jamie Lee.
I shared it as a resource for people who were going to be doing remote learning or homeschooling with their kids, and the The reception of it was phenomenal.
There's a free version of PhotoMath that gives you the answer. Then there's the paid app with animated tutorials showing the steps it takes to solve the math problem.
Like I said, math is not my strong suit, so this has been really helpful for me to go over what I've forgotten since I was in 5th grade.
The app is used worldwide, with many students on their own during COVID and parents trying to help. The app is booming.
During lockdowns, we even saw 100% increase in usage. Especially what was interesting, we saw 3 times more downloads by parents. It's not that we have every problem in our database. We are generating solutions using our software powered by AI.
Artificial intelligence comes to the rescue through an engineer who took a stressful problem, added a brilliant idea, and subtracted loads of stress for parents and students everywhere. Kim Martinez reporting.
To learn more about PhotoMath, just log on to your app store. There's both a free and a paid version. And KPVM News will be right back after this break.
This is News 25 with Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to K. Nelson 720.
Good evening, I'm Unette Gentry. It's Tuesday, January 25th, and we're starting with breaking news tonight. Deputies respond to the area surrounding El Jefe's restaurant here in Pahrump. One person is located and taken into custody after reports that a man had a gun, but it is not clear yet if he was actually armed. Witnesses say that man was wearing a bulletproof vest. There are unconfirmed reports that he told officers to shoot him. News 25 will continue to investigate this incident and bring you more details as they become available. And a federal grand jury indictment alleging a scheme to smuggle weapons and ammunition to one of the world's most violent, dangerous transnational criminal organizations leads to the arrest of 4 defendants. One of the ringleaders arrested in Oregon lives right here in Pahrump. And Pahrump was also the target location in that operation, one of the 2 main target operations. The Justice Department says the arrests of 6 individuals are named in a January 19th document, and that Los Angeles Strike Force investigation targeted domestic weapons trafficking organizations that provided firearms and ammunition to the cartel Jalisco Nueva Generacion. The law enforcement document says that that organization is one of the largest and most dangerous drug cartels in Mexico. The indictment alleges that a Whittier, California man led the gun trafficking organization that used narcotics proceeds to purchase assault rifles, hundreds of thousands of rounds of assault rifle ammunition, and numerous machine gun parts and accessories. 6 defendants are named in the indictment, including the reported leader of the organization that obtained and supplied weapons and firearms parts and ammunition to the cartel. A 29-year-old man of Pahrump, who is the son of the alleged ringleader, was also named in that indictment. And it alleges that other members of the Santillan gun trafficking organization obtained firearms in Oregon and Nevada, consolidated their shipments in or near Pahrump and Whittier, and smuggled the prohibited items to Mexico. The indictment states that the conspiracy began before March 2020, operated for about a year, and obtained thousands of rounds of 50 caliber armor-piercing rounds in Arizona, then consolidating them here in Nevada before attempting to smuggle them out of the country. During the investigation, authorities seized assault rifles, more than 250,000 rounds of assault rifle ammunition, more than $300,000 worth of weapons parts, and kits to assemble several miniguns, which are said to be 6-barrel rotary machine guns capable of firing up to 6,000 rounds per minute. And in other local news, a traffic stop leads to the arrest of a Pahrump man.
Raul Marino just moved to Pahrump in October. Now he's under arrest and facing a list of charges, including fictitious plates, no proof of insurance, no valid driver's license, possession of a concealed weapon, a handgun, possession of a firearm by an ex-felon, possession of a silencer, possession of burglary tools, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a hypodermic device, and being an ex-felon who's failed to register. Troopers on patrol near State Route 160 and State Route 372 noticed a white Chevrolet Tahoe with a sovereign citizen plate. They initiated a traffic stop, pulling in behind the Tahoe at the Smith's gas station. Troopers identified the driver as Marino. When troopers questioned him about his registration, they say he began to use common sovereign citizen terms, referring to the vehicle not needing a registration. A passenger in the vehicle was detained and later released. Marino was ordered out of the vehicle for safety reasons and asked several times if he had any weapons in the vehicle. He said no, but then told officers he did have a gun in the small of his back. Marino was placed into handcuffs and detained. During a search of Marino and his vehicle, troopers discovered a number of items, including a magazine for Marino's gun, various drug-related items, a threaded silencer that fit the modified barrel of Marino's gun, and a pouch of lockpicking tools. Marino was placed under arrest and booked into the Nye County Detention Center, where he awaits his day in court.
Thanks so much to Brad Francis for that report. News 25 will be right back with much more local news.